I was supposed to be stuck on the other side of town, caught in traffic, cursing under my breath at some guy who didn't understand how to merge properly. But instead, I found myself turning onto my own street, my foot easing off the gas as I neared my driveway. My mind was preoccupied with a single ridiculous thought. Had I forgotten my bag? Or was it still sitting in the trunk? And then I saw it. Amanda's car, parked there, still, sitting like it belonged, like everything was normal. But nothing about it felt right. She was supposed to be at work. Just an hour ago, I had spoken to her, and she swore she was drowning in back-to-back meetings. Something strange happened in my chest. It didn't race or pound. Instead, it stalled, locked up, like even my own heart didn't want to move forward. I shut off the engine and sat there, staring at the house I had stepped into 1,000 times. My house. Our house. That's when I noticed the second thing. The front door. Unlocked. I never left it unlocked. Ever. That was when the cold started seeping in. Not the kind you feel from a sudden gust of wind, but the kind that crawls up your spine and settles in your gut, twisting. A slow, creeping suspicion that curdled into something uglier. I got out of the car. Quiet. Careful. Something inside me screamed that I needed to be. As I walked toward the door, I hesitated for just a fraction of a second before pushing it open. The air inside felt wrong. Stale. Like someone had sucked the oxygen out and replaced it with something else. Something off. A smell hit me first, faint but undeniable. Clean. Artificial. A mix of perfume and something warmer. Something human. Then, from upstairs I heard it. A voice. A man's voice. Low. Familiar in a way I couldn't immediately place. But undeniably male. Then Amanda's laugh. And that sound shattered everything. Not just because it was her laugh. Not just because I had heard it 1,000 times before. But because of how she laughed. The way she laughed when she was teasing someone. The way she laughed when she was winning. My body moved before my brain could catch up. One step inside. Then another. The air around me felt heavy, pressing down on me, urging me to turn around. To leave. To pretend I hadn't heard it. To pretend I didn't already know. But I kept going. Up the stairs. Slow. Measured. The closer I got, the clearer his voice became. Low. Casual. Confident. Hers? Light. Playful. Excited in a way that made my stomach twist. Excited like a teenager sneaking around with a crush. Like she wasn't married. Like I didn't exist. I reached the top of the stairs. The bedroom door, half open. A choice. I could turn around. Walk away. Go back down the stairs and pretend. Pretend I didn't hear this. Pretend I didn't already know. Or I could push that door open and face it. Face everything. I pushed. And there she was. Amanda. My wife. Perched on the edge of our bed. Her back to me. Wearing nothing but the sheet draped across her lap. Her blonde hair, the same hair I used to brush out of her face when she was tired, was a tangled mess down her back. She was leaning into him, smiling, and him, sitting next to her, shirtless, grinning like he had just hit the jackpot. And the worst part? I knew him, not a stranger, not some random guy, Tyler, my best friend. For a moment, none of us moved. Amanda's back stayed turned. Tyler kept smirking, as if he had no reason to be worried. Like he wasn't sitting on my bed with my wife wrapped in a sheet. Then Amanda turned, and time slowed. Her eyes met mine, and I swear I saw it, the flicker, the split second before she reacted. Before she decided which face to wear. Before she chose the version of reality she was about to sell me. And just like that, she was annoyed. Not guilty. Not ashamed. Not even surprised. Annoyed. Oh my God. What are you doing here? She snapped, yanking the sheet tighter around herself, like I was the one intruding. Tyler? He didn't say a word, just leaned back on his elbows, watching like this was a show, like he was waiting to see how it would all play out. I should have swung at him, at the lamp, at the framed wedding photo still hanging on the wall like some kind of sick joke. But I didn't do it. I didn't throw it. Instead, I laughed. I don't know why. There was nothing funny about this. Nothing amusing. But the sound came out of me anyway. Short, sharp, ugly. You're really asking me why I'm here? I said. Even my own voice didn't sound right. Amanda rolled her eyes. Yeah? You said you were leaving at. Are you seriously doing this right now? I cut her off. That flicker again. That brief pause. And then, the act. Her expression twisted into something dramatic, theatrical. Like she was gearing up for a fight. Oh, don't you dare try to make me the bad guy here, she snapped, standing now, still clutching the sheet around her body like it gave her some kind of moral authority. You don't even understand what's happening. Oh, I think I understand just fine, Amanda. I turned to Tyler. Tyler, the guy who had been in my house, sitting at my table, flipping burgers on my damn grill just last weekend. Like he wasn't just waiting for me to turn my back so he could crawl into my bed. And he had the audacity to grin. Like this was funny. Like it wasn't real. I took a step forward. His grin didn't waver. You're not gonna hit me, man, he said. His voice easy, confident. That's not who you are. I don't even remember making the decision. I just remember the impact. My fist slamming into his face. Hard. The shock in his eyes just before he toppled backward off the bed. Amanda screamed. Tyler groaned. And me? For the first time since I walked in, I felt alive. Tyler hit the floor hard. The bedside lamp rattled. The sheet twisted around Amanda's legs. She shrieked, scrambling off the bed, her eyes burning with rage. Are you insane? She yelled, rushing toward Tyler like he was the victim, like she wasn't the one who had just set fire to our entire marriage. Tyler groaned, rolling onto his side, wiping his face. His blood was smeared across his cheek. Good. He deserved it. But the part that got me? He was laughing. Damn, he muttered, still smirking, dragging the back of his hand across his mouth. Guess I misjudged you, huh? I lunged. Amanda threw herself between us, slamming her hands against my chest. Stop it. Just stop it, she shrieked. God, you're so dramatic. Dramatic? Dramatic? I let out a slow, measured breath, my hands trembling from the sheer force of holding myself back. Dramatic? I repeated, my voice eerily calm. You're standing here half naked after screwing my best friend, and I'm the one being dramatic? She rolled her eyes. Actually, rolled her eyes. Jesus, it's not that serious. I blinked. The room spun around me. Or maybe it was just my brain trying to process what the hell I had just heard. Not that serious? Amanda turned back to Tyler, reaching for him, running her hands over his arm like he was the one who needed comforting. I swear to God, Amanda, if you touch him again. What? She snapped, rounding on me. Cry? Throw another punch like some insecure little boy? You're embarrassing yourself. I looked at her. Tyler. At this entire mess I had just walked into. And then, I laughed. A real laugh this time. Low, dark. Because in that moment, suddenly, I saw it. Amanda wasn't sorry. She wasn't even trying to be. She was enjoying this. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a mistake. This was a game. And I had just decided. I wasn't playing anymore. I took a step back, shaking my head. Something inside me shifted. Something final. You know what? I said, looking between the two of them. Keep him. I gestured toward Tyler, who was still rubbing his jaw, watching me warily, like he half expected me to swing again. Amanda scoffed. Oh, don't act like you're taking the high road, she sneered. You're just pissed because you got caught. I turned for the door. Where the hell are you going? She demanded. I glanced back at her. To burn your world down. And then, I walked out. I didn't storm out. I didn't slam doors or throw things. No, that would have been too easy. Too predictable. And if there was one thing I was done being, it was predictable. I walked down the stairs slowly, each step grounding me like I was crossing the threshold into a different reality. A reality where I wasn't the oblivious husband who never saw it coming. A reality where I wasn't the fool clinging to something that had already rotted from the inside out. Amanda wasn't chasing after me. Tyler wasn't scrambling to apologize. Because neither of them believed I'd actually do anything. They assumed I'd sulk. Maybe cry. Maybe leave for a few days and come crawling back. Because that's what guys like me did, right? The nice guys. The ones who loved too much. Forgave too easily. Swallowed their pride just to keep the peace. Yeah. Not this time. I pulled my phone from my pocket. My hands were steady. My mind was clear. And I made the call. It only rang twice before a familiar voice answered. Hey man, thought you were heading out of town. Scott, my coworker, and Amanda's boss. I smiled. Change of plans, I said, keeping my voice light. Hey, listen, you got a minute? Thought you might want to know what your loyal office manager has been up to behind your back. Silence. Then, what? I stepped outside, breathing in the crisp evening air. From upstairs, I could still hear Amanda and Tyler, completely unaware of the wildfire I was about to ignite. I looked up at my house. No, not my house. Not anymore. Just a structure built on lies, half-truths, and a woman who thought she was untouchable. I struck the match. You might want to start looking for a replacement, I said, tone casual. Amanda's been a little distracted at work. And I've got receipts. Scott let out a sharp breath. Are you serious? Dead serious. And just like that, the first domino fell. But I wasn't finished. Scott stayed quiet for a moment before exhaling, slow and heavy. The kind of breath a man takes when he realizes he's about to step into something messy. Send me everything, he said, his voice tight, controlled. Oh, I had plenty. See, Amanda wasn't just cheating on me. She was doing it on company time. Using her work email to set up rendezvous. Leaving early. Showing up late. And the best part? She had been dipping into company funds for her little business trips. I had screenshots, call logs, receipts, and now so did Scott. You know what, man? He said after a pause. I had a feeling. He trailed off. Doesn't matter. I'll handle it. For a brief second, I almost felt bad for the storm that was about to hit Amanda at work. Almost. I ended the call and took a deep breath. One problem handled. Next, I scrolled through my contacts, found the next name, and hit dial. This time, it didn't even ring twice. Yo, what's up, man? Logan, Tyler's younger brother. I leaned against my car, watching the last light of the day disappear over the rooftops. Logan, I said, keeping my voice light, casual. You got a second? Yeah, what's up? You still dating that girl? What's her name? Ashley. A pause. Yeah. He sounded hesitant. Why? I smiled. Hate to be the one to tell you, man. But your big brother's been getting a little too close to her behind your back. Silence. Then, click. He hung up. I stared at my phone, surprised. Didn't expect him to react that fast. Then again, Logan had a temper. A real bad one. I smirked. Another domino down. Now for the grand finale. I turned back toward the house. That's when I finally heard movement inside. Amanda's voice. Sharp. Furious. She must have checked her phone. I took a deep breath, squared my shoulders, and walked right back in. Like I still owned the place. Like it hadn't just turned into the crime scene of my marriage. From upstairs, Amanda was shouting. What the hell? Are you kidding me? I took my time, made my way through the kitchen, grabbed a bottle of water from the fridge like I wasn't about to set off a nuclear explosion. Then, thunder on the stairs. Amanda came flying down, her phone clutched in her hand, her face twisted in rage. No tears, no guilt, no shame, just pure, unfiltered anger. Are you insane? She screamed, hurling her phone onto the coffee table. You called Scott? My boss. I twisted off the cap, took a sip, and smiled. Yep. Amanda let out a sharp, bitter laugh, shaking her head like I was the lunatic in this situation. What the hell is wrong with you? Wrong with me? I set the bottle down with a slow, deliberate motion. Let's talk about what's wrong with you. You cheated. You brought that piece of garbage. I motioned lazily toward the stairs. Into my house. And you're mad at me? She threw up her hands, exasperated. It wasn't even that big of a deal. You're acting like I committed murder. I blinked, stared at her. Was she serious? Tyler finally appeared at the top of the stairs, still rubbing his jaw, his expression dark with irritation. Man, you're really dragging everyone into your pathetic little meltdown. I chuckled. Meltdown? Oh, they had no clue. My phone buzzed. Logan. I answered and put it on speaker. Tell me you're messing with me. Logan's voice came through, raw and seething. Tell me this isn't real. Tyler's face lost all its color. Amanda frowned. Who the hell is that? I didn't take my eyes off Tyler. It's your little brother. Silence. Then Logan's voice came through again, colder this time. Deadly. You're done. Tyler's mouth opened. But before he could get a word out, click, call ended. I slid my phone back into my pocket. Looks like you've got an interesting night ahead of you. Tyler took a step forward, his eyes flashing with anger. You son of a... I raised a hand, stopping him in his tracks. I'd save your energy, man, I said with a smirk. You're gonna need it when Logan gets here. Tyler's jaw tightened. Amanda glanced between us, her confusion turning into frustration. What the hell is going on? I smiled. Slow, sharp, just lighting a match to everything you care about. The front door swung open. Logan stepped inside. And the second he did, the air in the room shifted. Amanda jumped, spinning toward him. Who the hell are you? But Logan wasn't looking at her. His eyes were locked on Tyler, his big brother. The same big brother who had just stabbed him in the back. For the first time since I walked in, Tyler looked nervous. Logan, You were screwing Ashley. Logan's voice was eerily calm. Too steady. That was the kind of calm that made people dangerous. Tyler swallowed hard. It's not. It wasn't like that, man, I swear. Not like that. Logan let out a hollow, humorless laugh. Oh, so you just accidentally fell into my girlfriend? Tyler flinched. It was. I cut in. Careful, Tyler, I said, my smirk widening. You're terrible at lying. Amanda snapped her head toward me. Oh my God. Shut up. This has nothing to do with you. Logan's head turned so fast, I half expected him to snap his own neck. Wait. His eyes narrowed at Amanda. You knew. Amanda blinked. What? You knew about Tyler and Ashley? Her lips parted a second too long. Logan's face darkened. You did. His voice was a low growl, laced with something lethal. Amanda scoffed, folding her arms. Oh, come on. Don't be so dramatic. Logan moved so fast even I barely registered it. Crash. The coffee table flipped over. Glass shattered. Amanda screamed. Tyler jumped back. But Logan wasn't done. You're pathetic. He spat at his brother. I looked up to you. Thought you were better than this. But you're just a worthless, backstabbing. Logan, man, calm down. Logan lunged. Tyler bolted. Shoved past me so hard I nearly stumbled. Logan was right behind him, shouting curses, his fists clenched. The door flew open. And just like that, they were gone. Silence settled over the house. I turned. Amanda was standing there, trembling. Not from fear. From pure, unfiltered rage. You ruined everything, she hissed. I tilted my head, pretending to think it over. No. Pretty sure you did that yourself. Her eyes burned with fury. You think you've won? I laughed. A real laugh. Amanda, I'm not even playing the same game as you. She stepped closer, her voice a low, seething whisper. You're going to regret this. I smiled. Doubt it. Then I turned for the door, grabbed my keys and stepped out. I wasn't done yet. As I walked into the cool night air, something inside me finally settled. Something I hadn't felt in months, maybe even years. Relief. Behind me, inside that house built on lies, Amanda was losing it. I could hear her pacing, slamming drawers, probably throwing things just to hear them break. And I just kept walking, not looking back, not caring. because for the first time in a long, long time, I was free. Good. Let her rage. Let her feel even a fraction of what she had put me through. I slid into my car, grabbed my phone, and took a slow breath. Time for the next move. Pulling up my messages, I scrolled until I found the one I wanted. Then I typed, "Hey Stephanie, you were right about Amanda. Call me when you can." I hit send, and I smiled to myself. Stephanie had been Amanda's best friend. Or at least she used to be. A few months back, they had a falling out. Something about Amanda always acting like she was better than everyone else. At the time, I hadn't given it much thought. But now I understood. And Stephanie knew things. I started the car, rolling out of the driveway. As I turned onto the street, my phone buzzed. "Stephanie, took you long enough. Call me now." I smirked and hit dial. She picked up instantly. "Tell me you finally left that snake." "Oh, I left," I said, merging onto the main road. "But I'm not done." Stephanie let out a sharp, delighted laugh. "God, I've been waiting for this day." "Then let's make it count," I said. "Tell me everything." And she did. For the next 20 minutes, Stephanie laid it all out. The skeletons Amanda had tried so hard to keep buried. The lies, the cheating, the money she borrowed and never paid back. The guy before Tyler. Oh, this just kept getting better. By the time Stephanie was done, my mind was spinning with possibilities. "You still in that group chat with all her friends?" I asked. Stephanie chuckled. "Oh, babe, I never left." I grinned. "Send them everything. Screenshots, messages, every dirty little detail. I want them to see Amanda for exactly who she is." Stephanie let out a satisfied hum. "Consider it done." I ended the call and pulled into a parking lot, gripping the steering wheel as the weight of everything settled over me. Amanda was about to wake up to an entirely new reality. No friends, no job, no reputation left to protect. And for the first time in a long, long time, I felt free. The city lights flickered against my windshield as I leaned back, exhaling slowly. I had set the fire. Now it was time to watch it burn. My phone buzzed. "Stephanie." I answered immediately. "It's done." "Oh, it's more than done," she said, her voice practically dripping with amusement. "Amanda is about to have the worst night of her life." "Good. You want to hear the best part?" I smirked. "Hit me." Stephanie laughed. "Brittany. Remember her? The one Amanda was always talking trash about." I vaguely recalled. One of Amanda's old friends. They had a falling out just like Stephanie. Because Amanda was, well, Amanda. "Well," Stephanie continued, "turns out she and Scott are friends. And when I dropped those screenshots into the group chat, she made damn sure Scott saw every last one." My grin sharpened. "So Scott knows everything now?" "Oh, he doesn't just know," Stephanie whispered, her voice practically giddy. "He's pissed. He just sent a message saying she's done. He's calling HR first thing in the morning." A deep, satisfied breath left my lungs. Amanda was officially unemployed. Stephanie sighed dramatically. "God, this is therapeutic. I might pour myself a drink and enjoy the fallout." I chuckled. "You earned it." As I hung up, a notification popped up on my screen. Group chat. The real Amanda, 38 new messages. I tapped it open, and there it was. Amanda's life crumbling in real time. One message after another. "Are you serious? She did all this? Holy crap. I lent her money last year. Never saw a dime back. She told me you were the problem. What a joke. Unbelievable. She's been lying to everyone. And then, Amanda, you guys are all insane. None of this is true. Stop believing his pathetic lies." I smirked, then typed, "Amanda, the difference between you and me? I have receipts. Hope you enjoy unemployment." I hit send. A few seconds later, Amanda left the chat. Coward. I exhaled, setting my phone down. And that's when I knew. I had won. But I still had one last move to make. I turned the key in the ignition. The engine rumbled to life. And I drove off. Not looking back. Not regretting a damn thing. It was time for a proper goodbye. Face to face. The drive back to the house felt different. No rage. No second-guessing. Just pure, unshakable clarity. Amanda had spent her life thinking she was untouchable. That she could cheat, lie, and manipulate her way through everything without consequence. Not this time. I pulled into the driveway and shut off the engine. The house loomed in front of me, dark and quiet, but I knew she was in there, probably pacing, probably scrambling for a way to spin this disaster in her favor. I stepped out of the car, walked up the steps, and pushed the door open. There she was, slumped on the couch, phone in hand, scrolling frantically. Her face was flushed, her breathing uneven. The second she saw me, she snapped. "You psychopath!" she shrieked, throwing her phone onto the coffee table. "You ruined my life." I leaned against the doorframe, perfectly calm. "Nah, Amanda. You did that all by yourself." She shot to her feet. "My boss fired me. My friends blocked me. Even my own family is pissed at me. Do you have any idea what you've done?" I tilted my head. "Yeah." I smiled, balanced the scales. Her hands curled into fists. "You are the most bitter, pathetic, insecure little." I lifted a finger. "Careful, Amanda. You're running out of people to talk down to." She sucked in a sharp breath, chest rising and falling. Then, just like that, she changed tactics. Her eyes softened. Her lip trembled. The actress had entered the scene. "Listen, let's just talk. Okay?" Her voice had dropped, all gentle now, almost pleading. I didn't say a word, just watched her dig her own grave. She took a step closer, placed a hand on my chest. "I messed up," she whispered. "I know that. But you and me, we're bigger than this. We can fix it." I arched an eyebrow. "You were literally in our bed with Tyler, laughing about it, 5 hours ago." Amanda froze, lips parted like she had something to say but nothing to back it up. I spared her the effort. I stepped back. Her hand fell away. "You don't love me, Amanda." I shook my head. "You love control. And guess what?" I grinned. "You lost." Her face twisted in frustration. "So what now? You gonna divorce me? Take half my money?" She laughed bitterly. "Joke's on you. I barely have any." I reached into my pocket, pulled out an envelope. Amanda went still. I tossed it onto the coffee table. It slid across the glass, came to a stop right next to her discarded phone. She stared at it like it might explode. "What is that?" I smiled. "Divorce papers. Already signed." Amanda sucked in a sharp breath. I leaned in slightly. "I've been planning this for a while." Her eyes darted up to mine, wide with panic. "Your little business trips. Your late nights at work. You really thought I wouldn't catch on." She went completely still. "You?" I nodded, already enjoying this more than I should. "Yeah, I already moved my money. Froze our joint accounts. Canceled your credit card." I let out a slow, exaggerated sigh. "Damn. Guess you really don't have anything left." Her face crumbled. "No," she whispered, shaking her head in disbelief. "You wouldn't." I smiled. "I already did." Silence. Then, a sharp hitch in her breath. Her knees buckled, and she collapsed onto the couch, fingers gripping the envelope like it was the only thing tethering her to reality. For the first time that night, she looked scared. I turned for the door, reaching for the handle when her voice broke through the quiet. Small, desperate. "What am I supposed to do now?" I glanced back, taking in the wreckage of the woman I once loved. Then I shrugged. "Not my problem." I walked out. The door shut behind me with a quiet, almost peaceful click. No slamming, no shouting, just finality. I stepped down the porch steps, feeling lighter than I had in years, like I had finally shed dead weight. As I reached my car, my phone buzzed. "Stephanie." I answered, grinning. "Tell me you've got more good news." Stephanie laughed, her voice practically buzzing with energy. "Oh, you're gonna love this." "Tyler?" "Yeah, he just got his ass handed to him." I opened my car door, leaning against it. "Logan found him?" Oh, he found him all right. Stephanie sounded positively gleeful. And trashed his apartment. Like, full on you won't have furniture after this trashed. I smirked. Tyler's trying to stay at a buddy's place. Isn't he? Ding, ding, ding. But guess what? I chuckled, already knowing the answer. Nobody wants him. Stephanie sighed happily. It's honestly beautiful. I shook my head, laughing. Karma works fast. Oh, it gets better. Amanda's meltdown in the group chat? Iconic. She actually tried to play the victim. I rolled my eyes. Let me guess, nobody bought it. Not a single soul. I glanced back at the house one last time. The lights were still on. I could picture her inside. Alone. Sitting in the middle of that wrecked living room. Surrounded by the mess she had created. And for the first time, I didn't care. I slid into the driver's seat, tossing my phone onto the passenger side. You know what, Stephanie? I said, gripping the wheel. What? I started the car, the engine humming to life. I think I'm gonna take that trip after all. Stephanie let out a delighted laugh. Hell yeah. Fresh start. Baby. I smiled. And as I pulled out of the driveway one last time, leaving behind the ashes of my old life, I knew I'd never look back.